Hello everyone. I wanted to go through the process of how to get access to the PowerPoint presentation that you will need to complete. Much of what we'll address in this tutorial will be applicable to the other laboratories that you'll do where you'll be submitting a PowerPoint. The first thing that you'll need to do is make sure that you have access to Microsoft 365. All students get this for free. I've put this in our course content. There's a link in both the online syllabus as well as in the requirements for Biology 1010. So if you haven't done it already, what you'll need to do is make your way to Microsoft Office 365. And here should be some information for how you can get access to this. You might already have Microsoft Office on your computer, and if you have PowerPoint, then you're able to use that fine. But if you don't have that, you don't have to pay for this additional software. If you scroll down, you'll be able to find the directions for how to get access to this. You'll need to log in, click your blue tiger paw, click Office 365, and go through the installation process. So once you've done that, then you'll be able to download the PowerPoint and have access to it. Let's talk about how to do that next. Let's make our way back to course content, week 2, Chemistry for Biology, and scroll down to the bottom of the list of items that are here. Week 2 is a big week on chemistry. You'll be going through a couple of parts of question set 2. And down here at the bottom, there's a couple of things for you to notice. First of all, there's a video here that is the introduction to lab exercise A. So that's something that you'll definitely want to watch. This is actually how to go through the nuts and bolts of the molecules that you'll need to model, some of the things that you'll need to actually do the laboratory. And so that's something that you'll definitely need to watch before you move on to the next part. Once you've watched the video on the introduction to Lab Exercise A, the next thing that you'll need to do is to download the PowerPoint template that I've made for you. This is where you're going to submit your pictures. If you click on the arrow that's here at the end, you'll have an option to download that file. And then you'll need to open that file in Microsoft PowerPoint, the software that you've recently downloaded or already have access to on your computer. When you open up this file, there's a couple of things that you'll need to know. I know some of you are very savvy with PowerPoint and know how to do everything, and you can jump right in and get started. For some of you, this might be your first time with PowerPoint, so I just want to give you a couple of pointers specific to the things that we'll be using it for. Of course, you'll need to enable editing because you'll need to make some changes. What you'll need to do, as you can see through all of these different slides, is to upload some of your pictures. So for example, if you double click on you and your materials, this is the first picture that you need to submit. And there's a couple of ways that you can get your picture from your phone or your camera here into this PowerPoint. I think one of the easiest things to do is to email yourself those pictures and make them available on your computer. There's a variety of other ways that you can do it by saving them to the cloud and simply downloading them onto your computer. You can also store them in Google OneDrive. There's a variety of things that you can do. So once you have your pictures on your computer, then you'll need to be able to copy and paste it here into this space. So you can just do a copy and a paste, or if you want, you can actually click on this icon and it's going to take you to your pictures folder. So I have a picture here of a water molecule. This is not the picture that's going to be here. This needs to be you and your materials. I just want to use this picture as an example. And so that picture will be located there. Feel free to take some flexibility with our parameters here. In general, for these slides, I've put some guidelines of how big these pictures need to be, but if you need to make it a little smaller or a little larger, that's fine. You can move those around. So don't worry about getting the exact positioning. Once you have your picture in place, there's a couple of things that you'll need to do to make sure that the file size of your overall presentation is not too big to put in Dropbox. So one of the things you'll notice is when you click on this picture, you'll be able to see those circles around it. It means it's selected. And when you go to the ribbon up here that says Format, you'll be able to see a button that says Compress Pictures. So it's right here as you move toward the right. And when that menu comes up, there's a couple changes that you need to make and things you need to check. The most important thing you need to do is under compression options is to unselect, remove the check mark from apply only to this picture. We actually want every picture that you put into the PowerPoint to be compressed, so it'll be small. And then that way you'll be able to have a file size that fits. You want to leave this checked, delete cropped area of pictures. So this is how it should look under compression options. Here in the target output, if it gives you an option, you can do a web or an email size, but if you use document resolution, that can be okay. Incidentally, when you email pictures to yourself or upload them, sometimes it'll ask you, do you want it to be a small, medium, large file? I always pick small because those are the smallest sizes, and it allows us to have manageable file sizes for Dropbox. So we'll click OK, and we'll be able to move back to our PowerPoint presentation. What you'll notice is for some of these things you'll need to upload just a picture, but on the next slide you'll actually need to upload a single water molecule. So I'm going to use the same picture here. You'll have different pictures, but this actually is a single water molecule. And then once it's here, you'll need to use some of these labels over to the side. I've already put these here for you, and all you have to do is click on them. Once they're in the box and you get the icon that shows you, you're able to move those around. Now, sometimes it looks like when you move it, it disappears. What that means is that we have different layers that we need to fix, and there's a couple of ways to do that. Probably the easiest is to click on the picture, then right-click on the picture, and put Send to Back, because we want to put it at the very back so our labels will be at the front. So once you do that, then you're able to move these around and actually put them on your picture. So you might decide that the bond that is holding together our oxygen and our hydrogen is a polar covalent bond, and so you can just move and adjust these around and label this right here as a polar covalent bond. That means that this bond over here is also a polar covalent bond. So these are items that you can simply pick up, drop, and drag. You can be as creative as you want with these. If you would like to use them as is, that's fine. But for those of you who like to mix it up a little bit in PowerPoint, you could even select this and change the color. So you could go up here to font, you could make that green or purple. If you can just make sure that it's something that I can read nicely. If you want to put a background into that box, you actually be able to do that here from the menu that says font. So there's a lot of different ways that you can adjust these things, but you don't have to. Some other things that you'll need to label is where our hydrogen is, and you don't have to use arrows if you want to just get these close. So those are our two hydrogens, and here is our oxygen over here. And we also want to remember that in polar molecules we have areas of positive charge and areas of negative charge. So over here by our oxygen, I'm going to just tilt that like that. You can see that we've got some oxygen that's negative, and then around our hydrogens we're going to have areas of positive charge. If you need to make a new label because you'd also like to put the positive around the other hydrogen, then you can just simply highlight that box, go here to copy, then hit paste, and it makes another box, and you can just bring that down here to the plus. You may end up with arrows that you don't use over here to the side, or you may end up with the names of terms that you may not use simply because of the way you've arranged them. But what you'll have when you look at your screen now is your picture nicely labeled. This also serves as a great study tool as you're moving forward for quizzes and exams. So even after you've submitted this assignment, this is something that you can go back and review. Essentially what you'll be doing in all of the rest of the slides is much the same. In this slide you'll put many water molecules, you'll be taking a picture and loading up that of salt, and you can see for each of these slides that they have different labels. Here's one, you and your salty water, that you don't need to label at all. However, when you model salt dissolving in water, there's a number of things for you to label. Once you've added in your pictures, compressed your pictures, and labeled your pictures correctly, then you'll simply need to save the file by going to File and Save As, and you can save this to your desktop, wherever you'd like to put that. And then once you've done that, you're going to load this up into the Dropbox. There should be in the Dropbox setting in eLearn a place where you can upload this file. You'll want to double check that that file size is not larger than 20 MBs. It shouldn't be if you compress your files correctly. However, if you're having any trouble with that, just send me an email and I'm happy to walk you through it, or we can even save things in a slightly different format if that's necessary. If you have any other questions regarding this, please don't hesitate to ask.